in the animal shelter. So we're going to start her out by, she's going to put on a smock. It's not required, but we have them here if you don't want to get your clothes dirty or soiled. But always plan on something that's not going to be afraid to be destroyed, because we use a lot of bleach here for disinfectant. And obvious reasons, we have lots of animals and they jump on you and whatever. So to protect your clothing, or if we have an animal in here that has a virus that we would be concerned that you would transfer it from one pet to another in our different areas of the facility, you would wear the smock. You also might want to wear gloves this time of year. Obviously it's winter, your hands get kind of roughed up from using the water here, but you're also using a lot of bleach, and that can be kind of rough on your hands. So the gloves are always here. They're provided for you up in the cabinets. The smock is out at the bathroom area. All of the cats that are up for adoption. All these cats have been screened, they've been leukemia tested, they've been checked for intestinal parasites, external parasites. They've been vaccinated, and then if they're old enough, they're all spayed and neutered. They are vaccinated for distemper and rabies, both, if they're old enough. And then they go up for adoption. They are screened at an animal hospital prior to coming into the facility, and once they've passed all their tests, then they come in our shelter. And they're given a name and a log number, and all pertinent information about them is on the cage. Generally, it's going to list how old the cat is, if it's spayed or neutered, and we also give them a name. Besides the number, they have a name. So we're going to look at this kitty here in the cage. Her name is Mia. She came to us in August. She's been with us since August. She does have a don't let out on her cage, because originally she came in, she was probably being wormed and couldn't go out amongst the population. But now she's able to come in and out. She also was probably a little bit scared, so they wanted to get her used to the population, so we didn't let her out at first. Now she can come out, but she is still a little bit nervous. When we clean her cage, we make sure we take all of her materials out, her litter box, her food, water, and dishes, blankets, and we clean out the cage, put fresh newspapers, obviously we wash the walls down with the disinfectant, which is the bleach spray, rinse it down well, and then we put the materials, the same materials that came out of the cage, so for instance your litter boxes, your food dishes, and blankets if they're not soiled, go back in the same cage. We don't like to mix litter boxes from one cage to another, just in case the cat that's in that particular cage might be coming down with a little virus or has intestinal worms that we didn't know. So what she's going to do is she's come in, she's going to empty out the water bowl, bring it over to the sink, wash it out, really well. Either one of these sinks are fine. And put fresh water back into the cage. Now, in the case where this kitty is still in the cage, she's a bit on the frightened side, so what we're going to do is I'm going to transfer her to an empty cage so that she can have the cage properly cleaned. She's a little bit nervous being on the floor with the other cats, so knowing this as her personality, I'm just going to take her out gently and just kind of cup her like this and move her to a cage that's empty, that no one can come in, and put her in there. That way, if I was to put her on the floor, she'd probably scatter and try and hide, and it'd be a very bad experience for her. So at least she's in a cage and she's safe. Generally, the cats that are not frightened, their cage doors will be open and they're coming and going as they please. But in her case, she's a little bit nervous. So what we would do now is take her litter box out, take out her food dishes that are not on the cages, but the ones that they might have had canned food in, empty out the canned food in the trash, scoop out her litter box, take all of the stools and the urine out, and the litter scoops over here. Okay. So this we can just take, and we're going to dump that into the trash can. And then scoop all the solids in there. Then once that's empty, we can set that aside. And then you want to take the blankets out, sort through the blankets to see if they are dirty. If they are, then we're going to put those in laundry and get some fresh ones. One of the important things is very often they'll get litter everywhere in their cage, so you want to be sure and sweep out the cage before you spray any disinfectants in there. Otherwise you're going to make mud. Once you've gotten all the litter out, you're going to take your bottle of spray, which is usually a bleach and water solution, along with one of the cloths from up here. Spray the whole cage down, and then you just take the cloth that's wet, damp, and wipe it down. Take some pieces of newspaper and put them down inside the cage as soon as you have it all dried out. Great. And generally they just open up. We do have some cats that like to totally destroy their cage if they have newspapers all the way up to the front. So you'll see that some cages don't have them all the way up to the front. It's usually the cats that are kept in the cages a long period of time. But you want to put at least 3 or 4 thickness newspapers into the cage so that if they should accidentally miss their litter box or spill their water, they're not sitting in a puddle. So now you can just put your litter box back in. Make sure that their food and water is all set.
Where should I, do you have to
That
wash
you can put
this
right
off?
in the sink, rinse it off. Your water, your food's okay. Now, this is, this again, you want to be very careful to make sure you get the right food with the right cat. This is a kitten, definitely needs kitten chow. So you go over to your buckets here, and you look for the one that has kitten chow in it. Generally, the kitten chow is in this bucket. It'll be listed where the food is. So she would get food added into her cup. And you want to have at least 2/3 full. So, yeah, that's good. Yeah. 2/3 of the cup should be full, because if you put too much food in, what happens is you end up with cats wasting the food. They dump it out, make a mess out of it. And the water cup should be at least 2/3 full of water. So that cage is complete, it's clean, it's ready for the cat to go back in. So you want to take the kitty that's in that cage. Her name was Mia, right? Mia. Now again, she's a little on the nervous side, so you want to approach her carefully, slowly, because she is nervous. You can see she's giving you the idea that she's frightened of you. She's got the flat ears, her pupils are dilated, so she's very nervous. So you want to kind of approach her carefully. You just want to go in slow, talk to her, pet her, and then reach under her and pick her up. Okay?